part 2 of the poem Keeping Quiet by Pablo Neruda. Actually, like one of my viewers requested me yesterday. No, I think today, he actually wanted me to do the entire poem again. According to him, maybe everything was done nicely, but the last part of the video was not visible. Maybe due to some technical error or maybe some mistake I cannot explain. And this is why I am just going to keep his request. And this video is going to be made today only keep the just to keep the request of the one of the viewers. Okay. And now I'm going to say something before I start. Actually, the bottom line, if you look at the gist of the poem teaches us that, uh, the poem actually wants to say or wants to explain or wants to narrate or wants to tell us about the changes or transformation that we underwent. The poem talks about the monotony, the hue and cry that entered our life, or you know uh, the continuity of the modern life, or or a continuity of the monotony in the modern life is not only making the poet very feel very sad. He feels that if nothing very important is done, the humanity may get destroyed. And to save the humanity, to save the world, the poet has written this poem just to talk about the loss of awareness that of our existence, of who we are, or why we have come, or the purpose of human life. Understood, just to remind us of the purpose of human life, he has penned this poem. And this poem is telling us to look back on the difference between who we were and who we have become in the modern world. The modern world has made the people into machines. They are so busy running, chasing the day to day life, day to day activities, day to day duties, day to day present, day to day work of modern life, yet they have almost forgotten who actually they are. Just to break the technical or mechanical chain of existence, the poet has penned or gifted this poem. Just he wanted us to see the areas of our weakness, the areas of the weakness of the modern life, and the areas on which we should work upon. The poem not only tells us about what we are losing, it's telling us that in the near future, the human actually they will look like human beings, but actually they will be machines. Machines, what is the difference between a machine and a man? if you look at the difference between man and a machine has no feelings, whereas a man has the feelings of compassion, kindness, benevolence, right? So, if we, means men, are deprived of the superhuman qualities that we take pride in, that we used to make this modern world based on our intellect, based on our knowledge of science, based on our wisdom. Science with wisdom, right, has given us this modern life. And now what is happening? Unfortunate fact is the science has already superseded, or the science has gifted us this monotony of human life. This pathetic condition, the science without wisdom has transformed us into machines. Am I right or not? Do you get it what I'm saying? So, this poem is very important, not only for you, but for me as well, and for all the people who see the video. And they actually will benefit from this video, from this poem, because the poem that Pablo Neruda wrote will tell us to look back on we were and who we have become, and what we should do to work upon our areas of weakness. Understood? And what we should do for world peace. Understood? Now give me the book, and this book can, if I recite, hello, will you please bring me the book? The book is very important because I have to read those lines. Maybe the lines, if I explain them or give you line by line explanation, and they may not be as pretty lengthy like we did on our previous video. And this video, I think I'll just explain those lines in very easy to understand English. Is that clear? And this is why I don't like to make it a very lengthy, as I did the talking in English in yesterday's class. So I don't find it important to tell you or describe or give you or do line by line explanation today. I'll just tell you the meaning of the sentences that I'm going to read. Is that clear? Now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. What does the poet says? Now we will count to 12. What does now? We will count to 12 and we will all keep still. What does actually these two lines? What do these two lines actually say through this? What do you see, or what do you understand, or what do you make out of these two lines? The first line is now we will count to 12. You will count to 12. And we will all keep still. Actually, what you understand, what you make out of these two lines is, we will count to 12 means you will count 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 stands for what? 12, there are 12 months in a year. 12 has got a significance. The number 12 has got, and what does it stand for? It stands for completion, right? It stands for completion. If you have completed a year, it means finishing point. Now you count to 12, it means you have done enough. Enough is enough. Just come to a stand still. Stop. Come, count to 12. You have completed. What you are to do in this modern world, you have done. You are so busy earning and spending money that you do not give or you do not have a second left. If you are doing so, if you are doing what you are doing, understood, the monotony, the modern life, understood, noisy modern life will destroy you. If you have, if you count 12, if you have counted 12, what it means, you have already gone to the finishing point. You have reached the finishing point. Clear? If you look at the clock, 12 means that is also, it shows a particular period that you have completed. Do you get it? So, if you have done so, if you have already done everything, if you think whatever task you are given to accomplish or complete, if you have done it, now at least you take rest. Now is the time to take rest. Clear? Now is the time to take rest. It means now we will count to 12. Now is the time to take rest or take some rest. Clear? Do you get it? Now at least you keep quiet. And we all will keep still. It means if you have done what you ought to do, you at least stop to look back on the consequences of your activities. Give yourself a second to at least look back on the things you have done, on the things you ought to do again. The modern life is so busy. The modern world is so busy. The modern men are so busy doing or are so absorbed in their own world that they are indifferent to what is happening in the world. They are so absorbed in their own activity, in their own world, in their own, life that they are not aware of what harm they are causing, not only to themselves, not only to the modern world, but also to the future that is waiting. By destroying, by depriving yourself of a good life, by depriving yourself of a good time, of a good healthy life, what are you doing to the future generation? The future generation should not be made to live in the jail that you are making. If you have turned your life into a jail, understood? I think as a father, I think as a guardian, I think as a future citizen, understood? Your children should not live in the world that you are living for them. You have done enough. And what you have done is already a hell. Come out of the hell. You have not left this world a healthy place to live for the future generation. If you do not look back on what you have done, it will be too late for the newer generation, for the future generation, or for our tomorrow. If you really love yourself, please look back on what you are doing. Don't do that. And what you can do, we will all keep still. It means if you wait to look on what you have done, clear? If you have completed 12, it means if you have come to the end of the day, understood? Give yourself a second to understand what you have done and what you have to do. And what are the consequences, what are the results of all the things that you have done. If you haven't done that, what does it mean? If you do not give yourself a second to look back on what the difference between what you have done and what you are to do, it means you are doing harm to your existence. You are not a machine, you are a man. That's why you are being requested through the first two lines of the poem. Is that clear? And now, for once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. This all these lines are really, really very beautiful. See, for once, it means for at least once. He is not asking for many, many times, for at least once. What on the face of the earth, on this beautiful world, in this beautiful world, what will you do? Let's not in a language. Let's not speak in a language. What does it mean? Does he tell us to not speak in a language? He tells us to stop speaking. The language is very important, but sometimes we can also speak to each other with the help of silence also. Right? What is language? A world without border. The world where all the people of the whole world live, clear, will turn into only one family. World without language can turn the world into one family, right or not? And that family will be the family of people, family of men, or humanity, or human beings, right? And in that family, what does it mean? When we stop talking, we will have only the language of what? International brotherhood. By destroying the border of what? When you stop talking in one language, the world becomes a place without border. What the poet wants to say, when we speak in a language, it means we are constructing, we are raising a world of difference. We prevent one brother from mixing with another brother, living in another part of the world. Just forget. Let's forget. Let's stop communicating in a language. And the world will be a world without border. And actually the poet is saying that the world will turn into a family of all the men, or a world of unity. It will help the unity of the world. Whole world will be united when you do not speak a language of your own. This sense of ownership actually separates one section of the society from another. This is, the world can become a world without border if we do not speak in any particular language. That's why the poet is saying, let's not speak in any language. Understood? Let's stop for 1 second. At least stop speaking for 1 second just to see the unity of the world. It will be unity in diversity. Right or not? The world can be a unity in diversity only when we do not speak in one particular language. The world without border. And not move our arms so much. What are the things the poet is trying to say? When you speak, you communicate through some sounds, a language, right? Even you can communicate with one another. The primitive people, while living in the forest, might have done it. They used sign language and they used to speak well. Maybe the sounds of nature might have helped the formation of a language that all human beings are speaking, right? If you look at the evolution of the language, I might have read about it, and evolution of the language, or this is how the language came. The sights and sounds of nature might have, you know, contributed to the development of languages all over the world, isn't it? Now, what happens? Just for a second, you forget all the languages of the world that you speak in to communicate with one another. The world can be a family without border. Then the whole world will speak in only one language, the language of silence. What does silence stand for? Silence stands for peace. I don't know whether you have read psychology or not, or philosophy or not, but if you have read Homer, Herodotus, ancient science, even our Indian literature written thousands of years back, even Puranas, you might have seen that there are some wise men who said, just if I don't need any weapon. Hello, I don't need any weapon to kill you. What do you need then? I need only to disturb the peace of your mind. Just if you want to see somebody mad, if you want to make someone mad, only one thing, all you can do is just make so much noise. Just keep a student inside the classroom, and if you make the class noisy, if you talk too much in front of the teacher teaching or taking the class, it won't be possible for the teacher to take the class. In the same way, the student is sitting in the noisy class without learning anything, he is bound to become mad, because the sounds, not only the sound that you hear, not only harms all the sense organs, it turns you into a machine. All the organs, sense organs, actually are to help us to live a healthy life. Make proper use of them only. We are not using the proper use of all the human organs that we have got. Do you use your eyes to see something beautiful? Do you have time? If you are living in modern cities, if you are so busy earning and spending money, if you are so absorbed in your old world, if you are so absorbed in the activities that you do, if you have left no time at all, what does it mean? It is no use having all the organs of your human body when you cannot make proper use of them. Ears that you use to hardly listen to the sounds of nature. You don't listen to the beautiful sounds of the birds that sing in the trees in the nature, right? You hardly have left time to go on a visit to places where not only your families can also benefit from those sights and sounds that they see. The poet actually says about 99% of the people are making improper use of their existence. If the majority of the society does something bad, what is that? The majority is doing that. What are they doing? They are so busy earning and spending money. They are so absorbed in their own world. They hardly have time to look back on who they are, on what they have done, or what they are supposed to do in the world, what they are supposed to do for that tomorrow left to come. Am I clear? So, the lines that you have just finished, you have already understood that at least for once, in this beautiful world, you forget to speak in any particular language, and that's how. What can you do? Let's stop for 1 second. If you stop for only 1 second, according to the poet, a second can bring about radical change. Understood? It can change the way you live your life. Just 1 second. Actually, the poet is really disturbed. Poet is very, very sad to look at how the people are suffering in the name of living. Are they living? No. They are filling their life with monotony. They are filling their life with madness. And this is why the poem is a protest against what the world is doing is not good for the future of the world. And the poet wants a better future for the world. The poet wants to save the world from the verge of extinction. Is that clear? So he says, not move our arms so much and not move our arms so much. What does this stand for? These arms are our hands, right? And what do they help us to do? To do the work, right? But arms here stand for the weapons. Not move arms so much. It means the arms stand for the weapons of mass destructions. If you are so developed, if you are nuclear power, if you are superpower, don't boast of who you are. Don't make noise to make yourself heard. Don't tell the world who you are and don't make improper use of your power. What do we do actually? Just you don't have to do anything. Just you stick to your monotonous existence or your life without peace, without happiness, your routine life. Understood? You don't have a second to take rest. What will happen after 10, 12 years? You will be called a madman, even though you are not mad, but people will say that. You are not a man waking up, you are a machine waking up to perform the same activity. And the poet wants us to deviate, even if it is for a second, just to look back on what you should do, just to look back on what you have lost due to the routine work, due to the fixed lifestyle, the fixed duty that you stick to, that you are attached to. So he says, don't move your arms so much, just you don't frighten others with the weapons of mass destructions. And to do that, what do you do? How can you frighten others without, saying anything? The problem between people in the world, the problem between the superpowers and between different countries, the our enemies to world peace is understood. Our enemies to world peace, the enemies to world peace are the countries. Understood that do not want us to live at peace with our brothers and sisters living in different countries of the world. They actually are disturbing the world peace due to they what they have done, due to their riches, due to their powers. It may be their weapons that they have accumulated. And what do they do when you have power, when you have money, when you have something to show off? The others become jealous and they are weak, that are in need of help, but they cannot do anything except to feel frightened. These people who actually are living in different parts of the world where there is no electricity, no education, even the people are still poor in different African countries. They know what it means to live your life, and for them the life is you know is full of problems, full of struggle, and every new day is a battle for them. But here in our country India, under the leadership of our present Prime Minister Narendra Modi, okay, has taught the world about the necessity of peace, meditation, yoga. And now the world, observes International Yoga Day. Is not this a very good thing and a gift to the world? The world needed it. And this is why the Prime Minister is a name on every leaf all over the world. Actually, yoga or meditation, gives us a chance to see or to look back on what we were and what we are in the modern world. At least it helps us to seize our areas of weakness and work upon our areas of weakness. When you meditate, India got 140 crore people, right? When the head of the state does something like this, yoga or meditation, the entire 140 crore people also feel the need to do that. And at almost half the people try. When they try, they leave or give or send a message to the world that yes, it is very important. You have to kill two birds with one stone. What are these? You leave your monotonous life or you leave your routine life, no problem. And at the same time, you do yoga and free yourself or lessen or reduce the stress of modern life. Just to feel light. Relieve yourself of the stress and strain. Understood? It's very necessary. So when the poem was written, the poet did not know there will be a prime minister who will encourage the whole world to observe International Yoga Day. Understood? Had he been aware of it, had he known about it, he would have felt very happy. I'm talking about Pablo Neruda. And whatever India is doing today, now what I can tell you is, of course I'm proud, but I'm very happy to say that what India does today, the world does tomorrow. And the world is doing, benefiting, only because of the presence of a country like India. And the world is living at pace because India is not in favor of wars. India is working for world peace. And this is why many countries of the world are giving Modi ji the highest awards of their countries. And now Modi ji has already got how many? 31. Understood? 31 awards from all over the world. And maybe the number may increase. Isn't it? So why? Is the world blind? No. They have seen something good. Maybe you may pick holes in who he is, you may pick holes in his sport, but he is blameless. Even if you do not see him blameless or if you do not see him innocent based on the party politics, or if you just see him through the lens of color, then color must be there just to prevent you from seeing the right thing beyond the lens. Yeah, it happens today and it will happen tomorrow, and it happened in the past as well. It's no use. Even if it happens, it makes no difference whether somebody says that I'm good, if somebody says I'm bad. It makes no difference. But life will go on and on and on. This is how life goes on. You need to Stick to your duty, isn't it? Now, see, I'm sorry, I had to say that because just it was a part of the poem, what I said about my Prime Minister, about our Prime Minister, and it was necessary just to teach you about the benefits that the world already what got due to presence of country like India, right or not? So, when you are benefiting from something that our country is doing, I think I'm not making mistake or I'm not doing anything bad, isn't it? Just to mention it. By mentioning it, am I doing harm? Then, so sometimes comparison is very important. It would be an exotic moment without rush. You know what is rush? The modern life is full of rush. There is endless rush. People are rushing after so many things, isn't it? Modern life is running, isn't it? There is endless rush in modern life. You free modern life from endless rush for different things. It would be an exotic moment without rush, without engines, without would all be together in a sudden trainness. It means if we suppose I'm telling you, just stand still for a second. Even now, see, you are a student, I'm telling you. Believe it or not, please don't think like I'm picking holes in your code. I'm not criticizing you. Understood? Will you please accept what I'm saying, the truth? Okay, if you accept, see, what do? The whole day you, maybe you read, you do your homework, you have many subjects to study, so okay, fine. But we kill half the day using different techno things like you have all the gadgets like computer, CPU, I think different things, laptop, pump top. I have seen almost everything. You use almost everything. Maybe very costly mobile phones also, isn't it? So you use half your time using internet, Facebook, Insta, right? What are you doing when it comes to reading the textbook? When it comes to listening to a lecture, you are not all ears. You cannot give you 100%. You cannot pay rapt attention. Why is it happening? It is only because of the fact that the noise that you listen to outside that creeps in. It entered inside you to disturb your inner peace. But the inner peace is so profound and so powerful. However hard somebody may try to disturb it, it cannot. Because the inner peace is enjoyed by the Rishi inside. Who is this Rishi? Do you know? Our soul. Somebody is meditating inside us. And that man is meditating. And that man, our conscience, corrects our mistakes. If you without cause, if you harm someone, to give some your friend a slap, who may be weak, physically weak, maybe, financially, poor. And then what will happen? You give him, you feel free to give him a slap or you just slapped him. But maybe you do that time, no problem. But when you come back to your house at the end of the day, when you look back on what you have done, somebody from inside will tell you, this is not a good thing to do. Tomorrow when you go to him, when you meet him, apologize for what you have done. What is this? This is our soul living inside us, meditating and protecting us. Somebody inside us is our father. And this is why every child is a man. Child is the father of man. You may call him father, or sometimes lovingly we call our children father, mother, isn't it? So the child inside us or the father inside us is meditating for our good, for just to teach us, just to protect us, to keep our life secure. He is always helping us to see to it that we don't have any enemies, either from inside or from outside. He is doing his duty. Even if you want to find yourself in union with him, you must look back. How will you do that? You also meditate. And you are meditating outside, and that fellow inside you is also meditating. Then you can find yourself in union with God. Don't look for peace outside. Look for peace. The peace is as profound as the sea outside. There is an ocean of love inside you. There is an ocean of peace inside you. Don't drag that noise from the outside world into yourself, into the world inside you, just to disturb your inner peace. And once we disturb the man inside us, we turn into a mad person. So the poet is protesting against the madness of the modern life. Do you get it? Is that clear? I hope you have understood. So it would be an exotic moment. I have told you, exotic is something unusual that you generally do not expect. It will be an exotic moment, unusual thing. Without rush, it means the time that you have given yourself will give you an exotic moment, and that moment will be without rush, without engines. It means, what does engine stand for? Engine also stands for the boring modern life, right, Edward? And engine stands for the general clatter that is going on, maybe the sound of the engines, motorcycle giving out a particular sound, and the vehicles that ply on the road also are giving out poisonous gas and polluting the atmosphere, the air, the sound, and everything that you experience, that you feel, that you see is polluted. And the poet is actually in favor of a pollution-free world. That's the thing he is doing through this poem. He's saying, requesting, making pleas to the entire world just to stop for a second and to look back on who you were yesterday and who you have become today. Understood? This is how you can work upon the areas of your weakness. You can discover, you can understand, you can see your areas of weakness, and you can work upon your areas of weakness. Is that clear? Now, so a second can help you get an exotic moment without rush, without engines, without sound. Understood? Monotonous sound. And we will all be together in a sudden strangeness. The whole world will be united. How can whole world be united? All the people in the world? Only if they pause their activity. It doesn't mean he is protesting against what is happening. He wants the whole world to deviate or to stop what they are doing. He says, do what you are doing. No problem. You feel free to do whatever you want. Just give yourself a second to look back on what you have done, or whether it was right or wrong. If the people all over the world, if the countries all over the world look back on what they are doing, at least give a second to at least see what you have, what they had done was right or not, or what they will be doing will be right or not. This is how they can prevent the wars. The future wars can be prevented. When you look back on who you were yesterday and who you have become today, you can understand between that 2%. When a beast can change into a man, and now actually the modern man has acquired beastly qualities. When, if you are a man, understood, and even though you are a man, if you kill another person, if you take the life of another person, if you kill another person, what does it mean? Do you have the manly qualities or human qualities in you? Just, is not that a beastly act? Do you understand? Is that clear? Is not that a beastly act? When you are taking the life of another person, when you are killing another person, is not that a beastly act? If, had you been a beast, it would have been okay. Had you been living in the jungle, if you are a tiger, lion, or anything like that, or hyena, it's okay. You are an animal, you killed. But when one man is killing another, what does it mean? It is because of the fact that the world that we live in has robbed us of our human qualities, and the modern world has changed us into a beast, not a man. When you don't think before killing thousands of people in the wars, understood? If you are killing thousands, if you are taking thousands of innocent lives, what does it mean? Is this a human act? Is not that a beastly act? Maybe if you understand, just Vasudeva Kutumbakam, Indian philosophy, it is said that the whole world is your family. The whole world is a family. We live in different countries of the world. We all are brothers and sisters. How can one brother kill others? How can one brother kill another brother living in different countries based on caste, community, religion, border, whatever? Is this a very good thing to do?
No.
It happens only because of the fact that there is a language in which we speak. This is why the poet is saying, it's the language that we speak, make us say things that are not acceptable to me. I'm telling you, suppose, listen to me attentively. Look at what is happening in Bangladesh. I'm Hindu. I forgive. There are also some innocent Muslims. But when you see the live pictures, understood? Facebook Live, and there are many videos that actually show many families being burned in the broad daylight. There was a boy who was hanged, understood? He was hanged to death, not only hanged, he was burnt alive in front of people. And see, think of the people who saw him dying, and think of the people who are burning him alive. Is this a manly act? It is because of the fact that it's religion that we actually practice has made us kill one section of the society, understood, belonging to another section of the society, practicing another religion. Think for a second. A world minus border, a world minus language, a world minus religion, a world minus the things of division, separation. These are the things that separate one man from another. Who comes between two persons? The difference, the walls of difference is either language or religion or caste or community or your backwardness or your poverty. So, how can poverty be the reason behind my death? There are many countries in the world, Namibia, people are dying. You have seen children being sold by their fathers. I could not keep back the tears of sorrow when I saw fathers have brought their innocent children, and the children themselves do not know whether they will be sold or not. When I look at my own children in my home, when I look at my children that we see walking outside or playing inside our home, just imagine, is this a human act? Is this a human act? We let them do that. We don't help them because of the fact that they practice another religion. But look at them from the lens of humanity. Actually, I was actually feeling like requesting the Prime Minister of our country, sir, actually save those innocent lives. When you are feeding 150, 60 or 40 crore people, they were once part of Akhanda Bharat. Once they were our brothers and sisters. You at least do something for them. Those fathers who are not able to feed those children, understood? Who are not able to feed the family members, they are left with no alternative except to sell them. Just stop this sale. You are a man respected all over the world. You are a man who we see as a representative of God. I don't see him as the Prime Minister of our country. We are lucky that we have got a God to live with. Is that clear? The things he had done within a short span of time cannot be imagined. You cannot imagine what he has done. Maybe our previous Prime Minister in the Congress ruled government was Manmohan Singh, an economist, world famous. But there is a difference, and the difference is like that of heaven and hell. Think of his tenure as a Prime Minister and think of our present Prime Minister's tenure as a Prime Minister. He made the country do somersault. We are seeing sea change. We have already become third largest economy or fourth largest economy in the world. Understood? How when a person who can make us see change not only in economy, in the lifestyle of the people, see the changes in all the spheres of life. See what he has done, not only in the field of economy, social life, security, socio-economic life, cultural life. Of course, he has not harmed the religious life of the country. He has not even done harm to other sections of the society practicing different religions of the world. There are people who are saying that it is one of the safest country in the world. India is the safest country under him. When you cannot imagine running only a family consisting of 5-6 members, how can you imagine running a country? And the country is safe. Maybe there are wars being fought in different parts of the world, war is going on in different parts of the world. The India under him sleeps at his peace. India sleeps at peace. Why is it happening? It's only because of the presence of God with us. Maybe you can think that, or you may think that he's a human, but the things, our action speaks louder than our words. He doesn't speak much. He believes in action, and his action speaks louder than the words. And he believes in word, not action. He believes in action, not words. But he's a very good orator, very good speaker. He can reach the depth of human heart. Now, I have told you, a second can bring about change, and that change can be exotic provided you give yourself that change. And how can you give yourself that change? By keeping quiet at least for a second. Actually, the poet felt very sad, and that was why you can see it as a protest against who we have become and who we are for the near future. It means the near future or the tomorrow of the country is not safe in our hands. The future is not safe in our hands. This is why the poet wants us to change the way we live our life. So, fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would look at his hot hands. Oh my goodness. See, fishermen are poor people, day to day laborers, right? And what are these fishermen doing? Fishermen in the cold sea, the hard climatic or natural condition, or the places that are very, that these are the worst or difficult places where these people work, fishermen, would not harm wells, and the man gathering salt would look at his hot hands. What is the condition? The fishermen who actually catch fish, those who fish in either in the sea or in the river or in the ponds, actually why? To earn his livelihood, right? To earn his livelihood, the fisherman catch fish. They catch fish either in the sea or in the river or in the pond, right? Or in the lakes, right or not? They would not do harm to whales in the cold sea. Why? What is the condition? Only if we stop for a second. Fishermen in the modern world can look back on what they are doing. The harm being done can stop. And those who work as laborers, understood? The work, that is the man gathering salt, those who collect salt from the sea, they will also have time to look at their fingers. What does it mean? The world has become, the human world has become so blind, understood? It doesn't, the modern world has turned a blind eye to the pathetic condition of human being. Do we solve the problems of those who actually work in do the activities like collecting salt? Do we look at their hard hands? The poet is wanting us to at least understand the pains of those people who collect salts, who are engaged in this kind of activities. And those who work as fishermen, the fishermen will also change their mindset. They will also not do harms to the whales in the cold sea. Only if we stop for a second. So you need to stop for a second to look back on the consequences of your act. And this second can give us the chance to introspect, to look within ourselves, right? And that is how we can correct our mistakes, right our wrongs. Those who prepare green wars with gas, wars with fire, victory with no survivors, would put on clean clothes, walk about with their brothers in the shade doing nothing. You see, I'm just giving you this, as this is a pretty lengthy one. So naturally, I'm just giving you a just picture of what these lines are all about. Those who prepare green words means actually what does You try to understand what does green war mean. Green war stands for the harm done to the green forest, the green world. That is the forest, the cultivable lands. Understood? So, what does the green stands for? Green stands for our life, where agricultural activities are done. Green stands for green nature, mother nature. If we disturb them through wars, understood, if we harm them, is that a very good thing to do? No, right or not? We should not do harms. And there are people who destroy the nature through wars. Are not you doing harm? Hello? Are not you doing harm?
Yes.
Cutting of the trees are going on in different parts of the world. Why? We need furnitures. We need beds. We cut down the forest to clear some areas. Why? There is population. Population is what? Growing. And we need more land. And as we need more land, we need, as there is a increase in the population of the world, we need to cut down the forest. Why? We need to house these people. We need to cultivate the lands just to feed the increase in the population. And we are doing this, we are destroying the green world of the forest through wars. And this harm, the doing of this harm should stop. We should not do that. We look for alternatives. And we can stop the work against the innocent killing of the forest can stop only if we stop for a second and look back on the harm we are doing to the tomorrow of our future generation, to the tomorrow of our future citizens. If we do not leave anything for them, what will happen? What will they live with? It means they also mean destruction of the world. So the destruction of the world should stop. Those who prepare green wars, it means those who destroy nature. Wars with gas and wars with fire, it means those who are behind the wars with gas. The wars are being fought with poisonous gases. Understood? Of mass destruction. And the wars with fire, it means wars with nuclear weapons. We have seen nuclear bombs were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And what happened? Thousands, crores of people lost their lives. Did anybody benefit from the wars? Tell me whether it was America that benefited or whether it was Japan that benefited. Nobody. So, we cannot fight wars only when we'll stop for a second and introspect or look within to see or look on what we have done was right or not. If we don't look back on the consequences of our act, the wars will not stop. And when you do not give yourself a second for introspection, for looking back on what you have done was right or wrong, then there will be no change. The world will be lost. Like I have told you, just to destroy, just to make a man mad, just to deprive someone of his peace, just to deprive someone of his good existence, of his normal human life, or just to make a person unhappy, you disturb his mental peace. And the only way to do that is just make him feel like a fish, make him do all the things that actually uh, destroy the peace of mind that he enjoys. And if you kill the peace of that person, mental peace, that person will not last. So we have not only killed the peace of mind, we have destroyed the world peace through the activities that we're doing every new day. Understood? So, you see, victory with no survivors, it means those who prepare green wars with gas and wars with fire, victory with no survivors, would put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers in the shade doing nothing. And like those who are behind the destruction of forest, those who are behind the destruction of life in wars, understood, either through nuclear wars or you know with gases, the wars that were fought with gases. Actually, the wars that we fight with these weapons of mass destruction cannot leave anybody alive. A victory, victory in the war that has left nobody alive, is this a victory? A victory without the victor living, a victor alive, understood? Can that be called a victory? The wars that do not leave anybody, alive, can that war be called a war? So, should we indulge in activities? Should we fight wars that leave nobody alive? If the war that we fight leaves nobody alive, understood, will that be a war? Is it good to fight that war? And those who are behind this war and those who kill thousands of people, what do? They put on clean clothes. What does this cleanliness stand for? They keep their wrongdoings. They keep their mistakes hidden under the clean clothes that they put on, and go about with their brothers here and there, doing nothing. They think that they have done nothing, even though they have killed thousands of people. Like, see, recently there were many wars, right?
Yes.
Thousands of people lost their lives in different countries of the world. And those who have killed those innocent lives are going about here and there wearing clean clothes as if they have done nothing. And then what do they do? Have not they kept their ugly acts behind the clean dresses they on their body? Who are you hiding? Are not you hiding your evil acts? The poet is saying these evil acts that some people do and keep their evil acts hidden under their clean dresses that they put on will stop. Maybe they will be behaving as if they have done nothing. They will also change themselves only if they set aside a second to introspect, to look back on what they had done was right or wrong. So the modern life, the modern world is modern world is badly in need of a moment for introspection, to look back on what they had done was right or wrong. This is how they can understand the difference between who they were in the past and who they have become, and whether they should continue the activities that they are doing or not. And this is why, according to the poet, a second is needed. And now, what I want should not be confused with total inactivity. It means the poet says, what I want should not be confused. Don't get confused. Don't, if you are confused with what or what, if you are confused, I don't have intention to confuse you. What I want should not be confused with total inactivity. It means the poet doesn't say that you stop your work. Don't put off your work till tomorrow. The poet doesn't say that. You do. You feel free to do whatever you are wanting. Do what you are doing. But give yourself a second to look back on what you have done, on the result of what you have done. Understood? That is how we can rectify our mistakes. We can understand the difference between what we had done and what we are supposed to do, or we can understand the impact of our work, or whether what we are doing is harming others or not, whether we are harming our existence or not, what we are doing is acceptable to who will live in this world. Understood? With total inactivity, it means the poet doesn't want the people to stop. He doesn't want the life to come to a standstill in modern world. He wants the work to go on like it is going on. And this is why he doesn't want to leave them or in confusion or to feel confused. Life is what it is about. It means life should be led the way it should be led. Like there must not be difference between who were in the past and who we are in the present. It means people must live the life of a human being. Understood? A life without compassion, without kindness. Understood? A life without like a machine is not acceptable. Science without life, without wisdom. Science without wisdom is not life. Science should play an important role in the modern world, but at the same time, we must make proper use of our wisdom. Humanity must not be destroyed. The human in us should not die. Understood? We cannot turn ourselves into machines. So, poet says life is what it is about. Life should be led like it is. I want no truck with death. The poet doesn't want death. He says that it doesn't mean that we should die for what we have turned into. If the modern world is not like it was in the past, it's okay. But if you have modern life might have done damages to our existence. Maybe it might have harmed our thinking, but we can work upon our areas of weakness or mistakes only if we give ourselves a second. So this is why he says, I want no truck with death. It means it doesn't mean that he wants the destruction of the whole world due to the presence of monotony in the modern life. If we were not so single-minded, about keeping our lives moving and for once could do nothing, perhaps a huge silence might interrupt this sadness. It means a huge silence that we'll get, understood, can kill the sadness that we are suffering from. And if we were not so single mindedly, if we were not so single minded about keeping ourselves moving, it means if had we not been doing that, or if we had not done that, and that single mindedly, is that clear? Had you not been single minded about keeping yourself moving, it means what would have happened? Perhaps a huge silence might interrupt the sadness of never understanding ourselves or threatening ourselves with death. It means if had he not said that, if he had not said that, stop for a second. Understood? Had we not stopped for a second, and if we were not single-minded about moving, about what? About keeping ourselves moving, and for once couldn't do nothing if we let it go on and on. Understood? What would have happened without giving ourselves a second? What would have happened? Everything would have come to a standstill, right? And if the life comes to a standstill, it means if the life ceases to exist, the life will cease to exist, isn't it? The poet doesn't want that. The life should go on and on and on, provided what needs to be done? Perhaps a huge silence might interrupt this sadness. A huge silence? The silence, understood, that the modern life is in need of, could what? Silence could interrupt this sadness. Sadness is there. In the modern, there is presence of sadness, and you can see the sadness in the modern life. And that sadness can disappear, can interrupt, can disappear. How? With introspection that we should do. Even if that involves doing for a second. An introspection of a second can help us destroy, kill that sadness. The sadness that we have got out of not, not being aware of what we did earlier. Understood? We let the life flow, go on and on, giving ourselves time. And if we give a second, a silence of a second can help us kill this sadness that cropped up in the modern life. Do you understand? Now, perhaps the art can teach us as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. If you look at the world or the nature in winter, what happens? Everything looks dead. If you look at the cold countries, everything is under what? Snow. Clear? And you find difficult walking. You find walking difficult on the snow, on the surface. Clear? Because it is slippery. And you cannot risk running, and the life comes to a standstill in winter. But as soon as spring begins, the water, snow on the grass disappears, and the entire earth comes back to life. What the poet means to say that temporary silence that nature maintains in winter, she does that. What? For life. And this thing that the nature is teaching us can benefit the life in the modern world. That winter of nature can teach is a lesson for us to benefit from. Understood? This is why the poet is saying perhaps the art can teach us as when everything seems dead, later proves to be alive. In winter everything is dead, as if the nature has come to a standstill because snow settled all over everything. We are suffering from shivering cold, not going out of home, and it seems as if life has come to a standstill. But as soon as spring begins or sets in, everything has come back to where it was. That is how we can also see the nature and change ourselves. Understood? And now I will count up to 12 and you keep quiet and I'll go. It means that with this we come to the end of this poem. And this line, what does it mean? I will come out, count up to 12. And what will you do? You keep quiet and I'll go. It means the line can go on only if we give ourselves a second to introspect, to look back on who we were in the past and to who we have become. That's how I would like to tell you that we have come to the end of the poem, and I'm sure that you have benefited from my lecture or line by line explanation of the poem, Keeping Quiet by Pablo Neruda. If you think that you have benefited from my lecture, please give me at least one like. Bye. একজনও এসেছিল